to the finest hour, Real Talk 1160. Joining us right now on the phones, he played professional hockey for over 17 years, including 8 NHL teams. He was most recently the head coach of the IHL Bloomington Prairie Thunder. We welcome into the finest hour the new head coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones, Jarrod Skalde. Coach, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good to have you on. So now, when you got the call that you were going to get the job to be the Cyclones' new head coach, what kind of ran through your head?
I was excited. I mean, I had an interview with Ray Harris and the staff a little before that, and when I got the call, I was extremely excited. This is a great opportunity for myself, my family, and I'm really excited to be part of the Cincinnati Cyclones family.
Now, Coach Weber is leaving you some large shoes to fill. How do you plan to run the team your way without losing the momentum that he created?
Well, obviously the success that has gone on here is absolutely tremendous, and I look at that as a motivating factor, something that anybody would want to enter a situation where the pieces are in place. My goal is to keep the train going. My approach may be a little different than Chuck's, but the results need to be the same, and he's done an incredible job here, and the success this franchise has had is tremendous. But, we just want to keep the momentum going. My job is to bring in some players to complement the ones that are going to be returning and continue the winning tradition here.
Have you spoke to Coach Weber since taking the job?
I don't think I've left his side since I've taken the job.
Now, you're going to be working with him, though, because he'll be the AHL affiliate, right?
Yeah, we'll be in direct contact a lot throughout the season with different players, either call-ups or guys coming down. So another bonus to this job is obviously going to be able to work with Chuck throughout the year. And like I said, I've been with Chuck for the last 3 days and take me through some of the administrative stuff and different things throughout the office and different players and stuff. So it's been a tremendous help for myself and a big bonus to still have Chuck here in town help me out before he heads off to Rochester.
Now let's talk about you. You had this lengthy career. I can't even. I tried counting all the teams you played for. I was looking you up on the international or the Internet Hockey Database, and I didn't have enough fingers. You played for Herb Brooks, though, and I got to talk about that because that's just awesome to me. What was he like?
It's incredible to be a 20-year-old kid turning pro and having Herb Brooks as your head coach was great. I mean, mentally he challenged you every day. Obviously, what you read about and people that remember 1980 and, of course, the movie that came out, the intensity of Herb Brooks, it was a lot like that. But over the course of a pro season, he had to back off a bit. But mentally, he challenged you every day. And very fortunate to have Herb as my first head coach. And when I saw that Miracle movie come out a few years ago, it brought chills. It was exactly how Herb was, his mannerisms, and a lot of the sayings that Herb used were dead on.
Now, did he ever drop a Brooksism on you?
All the time, every day. He'd walk by you and just make a comment, and he'd leave you just scratching your head going, what? I don't understand that. By about March or April, you'd finally understand what legs feed the wolf and all this different stuff. He'd always drop something on you in a subtle way that really left you confused for a while, but at the end of the day, it was a great experience for myself to have Herb as a coach.
What was your favorite? Was there a favorite line that he gave you once?
Well, I remember what happened was a guy by the name of Tom McVie was the head coach of the New Jersey Devils, and a complete opposite of Herb Brooks. And Tom McVie had made a comment in the paper up in New Jersey about how these college coaches tried to change the game in the early 80s and have failed. And, it's good to see some old-time guys back in the NHL. Well, we show up to practice in Utica, New York that morning, and next thing you know, we're getting bag skated, like line to line, back and forth. We couldn't figure out, Herb was really mad. He's like, you guys want old-time hockey? I'll give you old-time hockey. And it had nothing to do with us, but he decided to bag skate us for what Tom McVie said in the NHL. So,
oh, man.
It was an interesting day.
You had a lot of different coaches, Herb Brooks included. Was there a coach that you feel best equipped you to be a leader?
I think Darryl Sutter, who's now the general manager of the Calgary Flames. I was fortunate to have Darryl in San Jose whenever I was with that organization. And I like Darryl's direct approach. He no nonsense, hard work, and just a very honest guy. And I think for myself, I learned a lot from Darryl. I mean, I can draw from a lot of experience. I was fortunate to come up through the New Jersey Devils organization with Lou Lamoriello. But, Darryl Sutter really, for me, was just a no-nonsense kind of honest. The honesty is what I really appreciated from Darryl.
Now you grew up in Ontario. Who was your team? Did you have a favorite player? I mean, How is growing up in Canada, how is that hockey experience for you? Obviously, it's going to be much more magnified than someone here in America.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, growing up in Niagara Falls, I was a diehard Toronto Maple Leaf fan. There's no question the Leafs were my team, and just like every kid, I was born in 1971, so by the time I was 8 or 9 years old, Wayne Gretzky was dominating the NHL. So to this day, Wayne Gretzky to me is the greatest player, someone that I've always grown up and was very fortunate to play against Wayne Gretzky a few times, and that is an experience that when you see your idol, you're facing off against your idol is just a surreal moment in time that you just can't believe you're on the ice with someone of that magnitude.
Now, you've played in Atlanta, San Antonio, Orlando, Las Vegas. Those are a lot of places that, hockey's not really a traditional in. Some would say that about Cincinnati. How is that different as a player?
When I first started and I went to Anaheim, that was the beginning of kind of the nicer places in Florida coming into the league and Tampa. And so it was a bit of a shock. I mean, our affiliate was in San Diego. So, I mean, there was days I didn't even know if I wanted to get called up because I was sitting in San Diego. So it was that was the beginning of kind of these non-traditional markets, and there was adjustment. But I believe now how it is, players are used to playing in markets like that. I don't consider this a market like that. There's been hockey here a long time. There's a great tradition here. There's been a lot of success here, and I don't equate that with a lot of those places. But there is an adjustment for some players that if they've been playing in whether it's Canada or northern cities, there is an adjustment period going to an Anaheim or even a Florida Everblades in the ECHL. There is an adjustment period.
Now you've played for, as I said, a lot of teams over 17 years. Do you try to keep mementos from every team? I mean, do you have a room in your house that's just lined with just the 30 different jerseys you've worn over the years?
I was fortunate to get a lot of the jerseys, not all of them. I wish I got my Chicago Blackhawks one, and there's some other ones.
I wish too.
Yeah, I definitely now, so...
Do you still have the Cyclones jersey you had for 4 games?
You know what? I don't know what happened to that one there. I know it's not up in the rafters. I looked. I saw Pete Rose up there. But
we'll work on that. I'll place a phone call for you.
You got it. But no, and believe it or not, that stuff all travels with me. I've got... we don't have a permanent home right now being in this business. A lot of it's out of a U-Haul and packed in boxes that just travel with you. But all that stuff's really special. I have some great sticks that were memorable to myself, whether for goals or team accomplishments. But you try to keep as much stuff as possible because it really does mean a lot. And with having a son now, I know he loves leafing through my stuff whenever we get set. He gets to open up some of these boxes.
Do you have, again, a lot of teams, is there that one particular moment or memory from your playing career that really just sticks out and resonates with you that you want to share with your son and just kind of is kind of a memento to you?
I think a lot of players will give you the same answer, their first NHL goal, and it holds true for me. I scored a game-winning goal at Madison Square Gardens.
There you go.
And to me, that was something really special, especially in that building and the rivalry between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. I scored an overtime goal with Anaheim, which I got called up that day and scored the OT winner. And that was the excitement level of that one was pretty special. But one other little thing, I played in New Jersey, and no offense to some of these organizations, San Jose and Anaheim, but when I was picked up by the Chicago Blackhawks, and when I walked in that room and saw my name on the back of with the chief on the front, my name on the back, and putting that jersey on, that was something special. When you put an original 6 team on, there's a definite difference between putting another non-original 6 team jersey on. Not to diminish any of these other accomplishments of other organizations, but those original 6 teams definitely carry a lot more weight.
Well, as a kid from Chicago, I definitely understand putting that Blackhawks jersey on has to be just incredible. Now, you were there kind of during that kind of dark period, after Roenick and all those guys rolled out, and before obviously this new group. What was that like? I mean, a lot of people kind of, at least the fans, were very disparaging upon the Blackhawks in the late '90s and early 2000s.
It wasn't very good at all, and it was very evident as soon as you walked in that locker room. I was picked up off waivers from the San Jose Sharks, and the Blackhawks picked me up, and you could walk in that dressing room and know this wasn't a good situation. You can feel the players' energy, the front office staff, Bob Pulford, nothing, obviously, he's done a tremendous job there in Chicago for years and years and years, but you could tell that this was a team going on the downside. And they started, getting rid of Roenick and Amante, and Jamnov was still there. Chelly was still there, but he was on his way out. And you could just feel in that room that this is not a team. This is a group of people, an organization that's on the downside. So I couldn't be happier to see how the Hawks have turned things around with Rocky Wirtz and John McDonough and Jay Blunk, the job they've done in Chicago. And it just goes to show you, everybody says it's a lot to do with Kane and Taves. Absolutely. But I think you see around the NHL, there's a lot of young kids that come in the league that just don't turn around a franchise. There's a lot more people involved. And the three guys I mentioned definitely have to take the majority of that credit, along with Joel Quenneville, with the job the Chicago Blackhawks have done.
Now, obviously, you have a major passion for hockey. All you have to do is look at your career for that. But even if anybody didn't know about your career, your son is named Skate. How did you talk the missus into that one?
You guys won't believe it. That wasn't my choice. I'll be honest with you. We had when my wife was pregnant with our daughter that's 12, if we were going to have a boy, she wanted to name it Skate. I was like, absolutely not. We can't do that. And then as we got a little older there and we had a boy, and I'm the one that finally gave in and said, all right, let's name him Skate Skalde. So I know the kid's going to grow up and be a great accountant or a lawyer or something like that. I just have a good feeling about that.
October 30th, the season gets underway. Coach, we thank you for coming on. We got to have you back on. I love talking puck here in Cincinnati, especially talking a little Blackhawks in there. That made me feel real good.
I'll talk Hawks all day long with you if you want.
All right. Best of luck to you, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Jarrod Skalde, as well as all of our guests, are brought to you by the State Farm Insurance Hotline. Give Agent Barney Reesbeck a call at 513-867-8612. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Coming up next on the Finest Hour, it's time for the NFC North preview next, right here on Real Talk 1160.